Okay, so we're going to be doing volume and surface area of a sphere, and sphere is a little bit different because you're going to use pi in your equation, as you can tell. And your answers can differ a little bit because either your teacher could ask for terms of pi or in terms of decimal. So that just depends on your teacher, but generally with Coach Williams, we're going to be using in terms of pi. So right here I give you that the radius is 2, so all you do for the volume equation is plug in the radius for 2. So the volume is going to be V equals 4 over 3 pi 2 cubed. And the answer that you get for that is either going to be 33.5 or 32 pi over 3. And yet again, that just differs depending on your teacher, but with Coach Williams, we're going to be using in terms of pi. For surface area, you use the same thing, just plug in the radius for r. So that's going to be surface area equals 4 pi 2 squared. And the answer that you get for that is 16 pi. And I just left that in pi. Teachers could ask this different ways. They could either ask they could give you the radius or they could give you the whole diameter. And if they give you the whole diameter, then you guys know that, if they give you that this entire thing across was 4, then you would divide that by 2, and then you get 2 as your answer, so then you plug in 2 for the radius. So that's how you find the volume and surface area of a sphere. Okay, so now we're going to do volume and surface area of a triangular prism, and this one is a little bit different because in the equation it says B, which generally means base, but instead of just finding one portion of the base, we're going to be finding the area of the entire triangle. So we're going to start with volume, and for the volume, you're not just going to plug in a number. You're going to have to use the area equation for volume of a triangle. So that's 1/2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So for that, we're basically adding, we're finding the area of this entire triangle right here, not just one length like I said before. And then that's your entire equation. And the answer for that one is 15 inches cubed. And then surface area is the same thing, where you have to find it, where it's not just base, you have to find the area of the base. So the equation for that is 2 times base plus PL. And you're going to plug in the number, okay, so you do 2 times and then the area for base, so that's 1/2 times 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4 times 5. So for that, we're multiplying this number right here and this number right here. And this number, the 4, it's kind of hard to see, but that's basically the side of the triangle right there. And then you're going to be adding 5 times 2. So by the end of the equation, you multiply 5 times this and 5 times that. So that's kind of easy to remember. And the answer for that is 56 inches squared. And for surface area, your answer is going to be squared. And for volume, your answer is going to be cubed.
I'm going to show you how to find the volume and surface area of a cylinder. So the formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times the height. And all you're going to do is just plug the 2 in for the radius and the 6 in for the height. So on the calculator, you do pi 2 squared times 6, and you get 24 pi. Now we need to find the surface area, and the surface area for a cylinder is 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. And you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to plug the 2 in for the radius and the 6 in for the height. So on the calculator, 2 pi 2 times 6 plus 2 pi times 2 squared. And you get 32 pi. I'm going to show you how to find the volume and surface area of a square pyramid. Okay, so the formula for a volume of a square pyramid is 1/3 base squared times height. And you're going to plug in the 4 for the base and the 6 for the height. Plug that into your calculator. And you get 32 inches cubed. Alright, and then the formula for the surface area is 2 base times length plus b squared. And you're going to plug the 4 in for the base and 7 for the length. So 2, 4, 7 plus 4 squared. Plug that in your calculator. And you get 72.
This time we're going to be doing volume and surface area of a cone, and this is probably, like for me, this is the most difficult one to understand, just because it has both circles and a triangle in it. So the equation is pretty straightforward. I mean, all you're going to be doing is plugging in the numbers, but there's a bunch of different ways a teacher can ask this question. For me, it's just really difficult. Anyway, so this one is going to be volume equals 1/3 pi, and then the r I've given you is 2 squared times the height, which I put as 8, and that is going to equal, that is going to equal 32 over 3 pi. And yet again, you can either put your answers in terms of pi or in terms of decimals. I always use pi because that's what Coach Williams uses, and that's what we use in class. Next one is going to be surface area, and that equals pi 2 squared plus pi 2 times 8. And that's a pretty long equation. I think that one's pretty hard. And the answer for this one is 20 pi. And I left my answer in terms of pi, and that's how you do volume and surface area of a cone. So now we're doing volume and surface area of a cube. And this one, the sides are all going to be the same length, so it's not going to be hard to figure out which side goes with which. The only thing that's different is in the equation, instead of using base or length or height, we're using side because all the sides are the same. So for the volume, all you have to do is 2 cubed, which equals to 8 inches cubed. And that's going to be your answer. For surface area, all you do is 6 because there are 6 sides in a cube. And then side, which is going to be 2 squared. And that is going to equal to 24 inches squared. So that's how you do volume and surface area of a cube. It's basically just plugging in the numbers. Okay, so now we're doing volume and surface area of a rectangular prism. And the volume equation is length times width times height, and the surface area equation is 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. And basically all you're going to be doing for these, like we've done before, is just plug in the numbers. It's just, like, the hard part is kind of figure out which, I mean, I guess the hardest part, this isn't really hard, but the hardest part is kind of figuring out, like, which number goes with which. So for volume, we're going to be doing 6 times 2 times 4, which equals 48 inches cubed. So that means this is our length, this is our width, and this is our height, which is kind of easy to see. Surface area is a lot longer. It's going to be 2 times 6 times 2 plus 2 times 6 times 4 plus 2 times 4. And the answer for that one is 88 inches squared. So that's how you find volume and surface area of a rectangular prism. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just plug in the numbers and then